All right, all right. So, welcome to Badass Soul Session number 7. Today is about removing 7 words that really can hold you back from creating the life that you want to live. So, language is extremely powerful. The words that we say really carry a lot of power with them. And so many of the things that we say can become just very habitual. We often don't even necessarily think about the words we're saying or the impact that our words have or the blocks that they can create in our bodies and in our energy. Because the words that we say have a lot of energy and feeling behind them. So if I call somebody an asshole, that has a certain feeling behind it. So all of these 7 words that I'm saying are words that I have found can really create some energetic blocks and can really keep you from living the life that you want to live and from co-creating really what you want to co-create in your life. So when we say a word, it has a ton of energy and a ton of feeling behind it. And these words are words that we have picked up since we were little kids. And so oftentimes we don't pay attention to the patterns that we have in our lives and the words that we tend to say continuously without really being conscious about it. And so the words that we say can either really support what we want to draw into our lives, or they can really hinder what we want to draw into our lives. And so as I started really paying attention to this in my own life, I was actually kind of shocked by how often I would catch myself saying things that really were blocking what I wanted to call into my life. And so just as kind of an FYI, this is really just an awareness practice. So don't beat yourself up if you keep catching yourself saying some of these words over and over. It really takes some time to start catching what you're saying and start shifting your vocabulary. And so this is all about, just like everything else, the more you practice, the more you bring it into the conscious from the subconscious and become really aware of the things that you're doing, bringing, a lot of just a lot of awareness, I guess, to what you're saying. That goes for anything else that we do in our lives. Then the more that you start shifting and the faster you will start manifesting in your life. And so, sorry, it just started raining a little bit, of course. So I'm sort of under an umbrella. So let me scoot up a little bit. So the first word that I want to talk about is the word should. And we can use the word should on ourselves, and we can also use it on other people as well. So this is one word that I often caught myself saying a lot over and over again. Like, I should eat organic. I should meditate. I should go work out. All of these shoulds. And as you can tell, like, this has a certain vibration that comes with it. It brings like a lot of guilt and shame, because if I don't follow through or if I don't do it, then it brings a lot of guilt and shame with it. And it also brings with it a great deal of resistance. Like, I'm not excited to go do it. It's like there's this resistance that's happening when I say that I should go do something. And so if any of you guys have heard me train before, you constantly hear me saying to follow your joy, to follow your joy. And when we are shoulding ourselves to death, we are not following our joy. And the resistance train and the joy train are going in opposite directions. My mentor, Rachel Jane, always says that. The resistance train and the joy train are going opposite directions. You cannot be on both trains at the same time. So pay attention to, are you following your joy? Instead of waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I should do this or I should do that, see if as much as possible you can start following your joy and changing the words. The remedy to this is to start changing the word should to the word I choose to, or I desire, or I want to. And so the more that you can start following those words instead of doing all of this list of shoulds, the more you're going to start opening yourself to possibility. The faster you're going to start manifesting, because you're going to start to be in alignment and you're going to start to be more in the flow. And when you're more in alignment and you're more in the flow, then you start opening yourself to possibility and you start manifesting much more quickly. But when we are in that place of should, we're in the place of resistance. And when we are in the place of resistance, we are not manifesting quickly. Those two do not go together. So play around with the remedy of catching yourself in that moment that you're saying should, and instead choose something that you want to do, or use the language I choose to. And then when we do it to other people, because we can should other people to death as well. Like I can especially do it with those people around me that I love, like my husband, like, honey, you should be doing this. And when we start doing that with the relationships around us, we are completely disconnecting from that relationship, and we are not looking through the person who we are speaking through. We are not looking through their lens. We are not looking through their eyes and seeing the world from their perspective. We are only seeing it from our paradigm, and that disconnects us out of relationship. And it puts, again, it's a huge resistance. So oftentimes when we're saying you should to somebody else, take a look at yourself too, because oftentimes that's our shadow speaking. Oftentimes that is something that we actually don't love about ourselves, and so we're projecting it onto somebody else. So pay attention to when you are telling somebody else they should be doing this or that. Like turn the light back on yourself and see if there's some piece of that that's a trigger, because it's something that you need to look at within yourself. And instead of saying should, just open yourself to possibility around, they are living their life in the way that they need to at that moment. There are no shoulds for other people as well. The second word is the word can't. And when we say the word can't, it is literally a dead end, period. When we say the word can't, there is absolutely no openness to possibility that there could be another way or a possibility that we could do it. And I guarantee you that every single one of you who are on here watching, that you can think of either somebody that you personally know, or a story that you have heard about, or something on the news that you have seen where somebody has done something absolutely miraculous. Whether it's the woman who lost her arm, surfing, and the shark bit off her arm, and everybody was like, there's no way that she's going to be able to surf again. And she believed that she could surf again, and so she made it happen. So there are a million stories out there that if we open ourselves to possibility and we change the word I can't to I can, that amazing things can happen. That when we use the word can't, we literally cut ourselves off. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And one of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford, who has said a number of times, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Because whatever we tell our mind believes. So if we are telling ourselves that we can't do something, then we absolutely won't be able to do it. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So start shifting that vocabulary from I can't to I can. And it will be amazing the things that you will be able to accomplish just by believing that you can. Because one of the basis of law of attraction is, feeling it, seeing it, knowing that you can do it, and visualizing it. And if we're saying I can't, we're just done. We've already cut ourselves off from any chance of it happening. Okay, the third and fourth words are always or never. And so these things, like, I'm sure that you can be around people that you've heard say this all the time. This is something that just literally pops out of our mouth so easily. I'm always going to be broke, or I'll never find a soulmate. Those are just all of those absolute words do not serve us at all, because again, they're cutting us off from possibility. And so there is absolutely no room to manifest what you want if you are telling yourself that there's never a possible chance that that's going to happen, or you're always going to be broke. And if you're saying those words to yourself over and over, then that is truly what you are calling into your life. That's literally what you are attracting into your life, because the universe does not understand what you are saying. It's going to reflect back to you your words. So if you're using absolutes like always and never, then that is what you're going to start manifesting. You always will be broke. You truly never will manifest a soulmate. Again, like that idea of really like visualizing, seeing it, feeling it, knowing it within every cell of your body, that is possible. That's the way we start shifting from that block into being able to manifest what we desire. And so the remedy to this is really to start shifting to an open heart, to imagining like this like the possibility of just anything being available to you. The fifth word is but. This is also a word I catch myself saying a lot. And the thing about but is that anything that you say after the word but negates all of the words prior to it. So I gave this amazing speech, but I forgot a really important point. Or I really, really love my husband, but ... So when you say the word but, it negates all of the great stuff you said at first. And it ends with this negativity. And so again, it's blocking, it's closing you off from the possibility of beauty and positivity. It cuts you off from the appreciation and the gratitude. And so one of the ways to shift but is to use the word and instead. So just practice shifting from saying but to and as much as possible to just notice even what comes after the and as well. Like, how are you ending your sentences? If you're ending on a positive note or a negative note, because your brain really gets into this habitual pattern that if you are continuously ending your sentences in this negative pattern, that's like the vibration that your body goes into. So if I get really excited and I'm like, I did this amazing speech, right? And you can feel my vibration go up, but then I say, oh, but I left out like one of the most important parts. And then you're ending with your vibration and your energy going down, and we are attracting the similar vibrations. So as much as possible, we're wanting to end our sentences in this vibration of the things that we want to attract. So shifting but to and. And then the sixth word is hope. So welcome Tabitha and Jennifer, if you're on. Sorry, my scroll is going really weird right now. So I really appreciate everybody that is hopping on. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments as we go along and I can come back and answer. Okay, so the sixth word is hope. So, hey Jennifer. So, hope. As you can tell, it has this energetic quality of kind of like this airiness. It's like you are not in control. And that is not true. You are the creator of your life. Everything that you are doing is creating, and you have the power to create whatever you want. So when you say like, oh, I hope I make 6 figures this year. I hope I find, I hope I go on a great date. I hope that I get this house that I want. So when you're using the word hope, it takes you out of the driver's seat. You are not, it has this energy of not being in control of your life. It always reminds me when I say that word, it reminds me of the definition of insanity, that I keep trying the same things over and over and hoping for a different result. Hope is not an action-oriented word. It's kind of just like you're hoping that something magical happens, but without doing anything to create the magic. And so rather than using the word hope, you need to go into a little bit different mindset. And it's same thing with that foundation of the law of attraction. Like you really have to start seeing it and knowing it and believing it. So instead of using the word hope, you're using the words, I know. I know. And so you have to know beyond certain, like in every cell of your being, that you are going to find the person that you want to date, that you're going to visualize the magical date that you're going on and what he looks like or she looks like and what it feels like to be sitting across the table from them and how the date ends. Like that as part of the practice is really visualizing and knowing beyond knowing that you are receiving what you want and that you are creating what you want, rather than just sitting back and being like, oh yeah, I hope it happens. So shifting hope to no. And then the last word is hate. The last word that I would practice removing from your vocabulary is the word hate. And this just has an energy of just, there's a drama that's around it. And it also cuts you off from any gratitude and any appreciation. Because if I just say like, oh, I hate when it's, 101 degrees in Boulder. Like I hate when it's this hot. And as soon as we start fixating on things that we don't like in our lives oftentimes. And so when I start saying things like that, it literally immediately cuts me off from any of the appreciation or gratitude that I have for all the other things that are amazing in my life. I may not like the heat, but yet the pine trees are amazing and the eagle that's flying over my house right now is incredible. And so it takes us out and away from that, and just like hate tends to put on the blinders. Like when you see people that are really seeped in hate or rage, they have no ability to widen the lens and to see other people's sides and to see other things around them. And so even if it's silly things that you're talking about that you hate, there is still an energy around that word that literally blocks us from gratitude. And this is a great thing for those of you who are on that have kids. These are great things to start instilling in your children as well, just starting to shift vocabulary and words, because they have so much power behind them and how we create our lives and what we are manifesting. So to start talking to your kids about the words like that too. So even if we don't like something, to say that we dislike it rather than we hate it, even that shifts the vibration a little bit. But as much as you can, to start shifting from hate to gratitude. So when you catch yourself saying like, I hate something, and you start going down that road, like take a second to catch yourself and notice something around you that you feel really grateful for. And that will it's one of the fastest ways to shift into a higher vibration, is to start feeling grateful for the things around you. So those are the 7 words that I feel really passionate about. There are many more, but those are kind of my top 7. So again, just to recap those really quick, the word should. So that energy that the word should has of having to do something, and just shifting the word should to I choose to, or I desire, or I want to. The word can't, beginning to shift that word can't to I can, because anytime you say I can, it's just an instant block to no possibility. And we have the ability to do amazing things just from shifting our mindset. The absolutes of always and never, just shifting always and never, just taking absolutes out of your vocabulary in general, because again, those two are just cutting off any form of possibility that something else is available to us. The word but, shifting the word but to and, so that we're not ending our sentences on something negative and negating everything else that came before it. The word hope. So that energy of just like waiting for something to happen to you, and to waiting for something outside of yourself to create your happiness. Instead, to take control and to empower yourself. And instead of using the word hope, to say, I know, and to really start practicing that visualization of the things that you desire and really feeling it in your body. What would it feel like to already have it? And then the last word being hate, just trying to shift that word hate. So into a gratitude or an appreciation for something around you. So words have so much power, and yet, oftentimes we just don't notice what we're saying. It's not like we're intentionally going around trying to block the things that we want to manifest in our life or something. It just pops out of our mouth without us even saying it or realizing some of the energetic quality that it has. It brings down our vibration, and then we're walking around in this lower vibration, and that vibration is what we're attracting back into our life. So if there is something that you're really wanting in your life and it's not coming to you as quickly as you want it, just pay attention to what you're saying on a daily basis. And if any of those words are popping in out of your mouth without you thinking about it, just beginning to have the awareness and just slowly beginning to shift those and not beating yourself up if they're still coming out of your mouth, because it is a deeply worn pattern for most of us to say these kinds of words. So just to have the awareness and notice that you're doing it, and then just to begin, oh, I just said it again, and shift to something else. So I hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome 4th of July. I hope you all stay safe. No fires out here in Colorado. It's dry, dry, dry. So I don't think there are going to be many fireworks this 4th of July, but I hope you guys have a great 4th and that you have amazing time with your friends and family that you're with. And otherwise, I will see you all soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.